football contest sign-up season is here, and you don't want to miss out on the action. With millions of dollars on the line each and every week in the world's biggest football contest, there's only one proxy to trust, footballcontest.com. Maddie and Tony have set the gold standard for football contest proxy services with 20 years of experience and over 13 million in winnings for their clients. All you have to do is get to Vegas between now and the start of football season to sign up in person, and they do the rest, making sure your picks are entered every week. Whether you want to play in the Circa Sports Million, Circa Survivor, Super Contest Gold, or the new Super Contest College Contest, Maddie and Tony have you covered. Their new website has everything you need to know about these football contests and more, including how you can reserve the best proxy in the business. Experience matters, so go with the pros at footballcontest.com, the gold standard proxy service.
This is speed. This is winning. This is losing. This is NASCAR in Las Vegas, the South Point 400, a NASCAR playoff race, October 10th through 12th. Get your tickets now.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book, South Point Studio.
We don't make stuff up here.
I would only play the Pirates team total going under.
What the hell happened to Minnesota's pitching? This total has really crashed without plumbing the lineup.
I think this number's too high, but they're laying me the 6.
Oh, I know.
Caitlin Clark drives handle on the WNBA.
Never mind all these Mickey Mouse other stations. We are giving you hands-on information.
It's Sports by the Book at the South Point Studio. Here's Jeff Parles and Alex White.
Good morning. Welcome in. It is Sports by the Book here at the South Point Studio. I'm Jeff Parles. She's Alex White. Just want to get a programming note out there. We will have 2 shows every Friday moving forward. This show will be the day's action coming ahead. So, well, today, at least at this 10 a.m. show, we'll have preseason NFL football that is happening today. And Major League Baseball, of course, a full card on a Friday. At noon, Football Frenzy on a Friday returns. Chris Andrews, Vinny Magliulo, someone named Alex, and someone named Jeff will be there as well. We'll have all the previews of Week 0. Also, a lot of future book talk here today at noon. Same channel, same place. Just stay tuned at noon. Football Frenzy on a Friday. Every football angle that you need for the weekend. And, of course, Alex, we're getting closer to contest time here in Vegas as well.
Yes, we are. And, of course, our Fridays are sponsored by footballcontest.com. Remember, if you are coming to Vegas and you are going to sign up for any of the contests, you want to go with the pros at footballcontest.com. Experience matters, so visit proxy.footballcontest.com. Use the promo code ALEX, ALEX, and you will get a special offer from Tony and Maddie. Get here sooner than later, especially if you're going to do the new college contest from the Westgate, because you have to be in by next week. Basically 7 days until that contest begins. I'm so excited. And then a lot of great NFL contests. We were talking fantasy football before the show started, which was a big surprise. And Chris Andrews stopped in. You talked about how this show off the top is about today's action. Yep. Something new at the South Point. I'm excited. It is about today's action. MLB parlayable player props. So a lot of good options on here. You've got Aaron Judge to hit a home run. You've got Freddie Freeman to hit a home run. And then some strikeout props you can add in there with guys like Max Fried, Blake Snell. So some of the really good matchups. Come check that out here at the South Point.
Got it. So also, Chris is breaking things in the studio, if you heard that right there. But available if you want the actual numbers and such, go to Chris Andrews on the tweets. Of course, Andrews Sports as always. You have to parlay them on this sheet. They have to be going in a parlay. There are no straight bets on the ones that are available on this sheet here today, and see an expansion of that through the NFL season as well.
10 options there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Technically with the over and unders, add 4, 14 technically on the options here for today. All right, let's get to it. Baseball card here on a Friday. Playoff races tightening. Big series abound as well. Let's begin in Pittsburgh with a series that means absolutely nothing here today. Alex, let's just be quick.
Yeah.
Ashcraft and San Diego, Pirates and Rockies, the two worst teams in the National League, or two of the three worst teams in the NL. Ashcraft's minus 90, total 8.5. Can we just move along? Okay, good. No play for us on either of that. We go to Philadelphia.
Can't lay 190 with the Pirates right now. So.
I'm with you on that. It'd only be an over would be the only thing you can consider. All right, let's go to Philly.
But the Rockies are coming from their home games against the Dodgers.
Yeah, a little
on
travel
the road,
as well.
So.
Philadelphia has a season-high 7-game lead in the National League East on the Mets as the Mets lose 2 out of 3 to the Nats. Even though the Phillies and Nats played 4 last week in D.C., Nats split the 4 on Philadelphia, so it was a little bit more competitive than expected from Washington this past week. It is Taijuan Walker against Cavalli, who was spectacular against the Phillies last week. Minus 180 on Walker, plus 160 on Cavalli, and a total of 9.5 for this one in Citizens Bank. Again, the Phillies have a 1.5 lead on the Dodgers for the 2 seed, and again, a season-high 7-game lead on New York.
And then, of course, the Brewers there with the 1 seed.
Yep.
I went all the way upstairs to check out the team totals here because I am interested in the Phillies team total. It's 4.5 here at the South Point. Juice to the over, minus 145. I don't think he's going to pitch like that back-to-back against this Phillies lineup that has been red hot as of late. And if you look at his starts, so 3 starts so far this year, I mean, really much better at home. He did give up 4 earned runs in 5 innings pitch against the Royals. I think the Phillies are going to get to him the second time seeing him. Wouldn't hate the over for the full game. I do think the Nats could score a little bit here on Taijuan Walker as well, but I think I like just zeroing in on the Phillies, and I'll bring up some of their numbers in the last 7. Batting .341 as a team, .403 on-base percentage, and a .171 WRC plus. They're seeing the ball well. Got to keep that momentum going here. So I like the Phillies side. I just don't love that big number to lay. So I'd be looking for team total over.
Yeah, for Philly, they have 7 games left with the Mets. They begin that series in New York next week, and the Mets are just fumbling the bag in every which way humanly possible at this point. The race is over unless if the Mets go 7-0 against the Phillies. More so than not, I think 10-1. You probably should be looking at 20-1 at this point on the Mets. Speaking of the Mets, we'll go to Atlanta next. Nolan McLean, who was awesome in his major league debut last Saturday, 5 2/3 shutout in a win against the Mariners. The Braves are playing well all of a sudden. This is the best stretch the Braves had since it looked like they were going to get back in it in late May, early June, and then obviously the wheels came off a second time. Mets are a small favorite in this game, or excuse me, Atlanta's a small favorite in this game at minus 115. Mets at even and a total of 8.5 tonight down in Cobb County.
This one's hard for me. I really don't have a lean to the side or the total here because looking at both these pitchers, you would expect maybe an over here with both of the way these lineups have been hitting, but both of them are coming in off of really good starts. And Wentz actually 2 in a row where he gave up just 1 earned run, going at least 5 innings, went 6 against the Guardians. So I'm going to pass on this one. Kind of watch how this first one goes between these two. But, I mean, really, their offensive numbers are very good for both the Mets and the Braves right now. So I don't want to trust the pitchers, even though they're looking good right now coming in too. So pass for me.
Up next, by the way, no play in this one. Mets lead the National League wildcard races down to a half on Cincinnati, but again, Reds still have a game in hand, so it'll all even out in the end. They all will play 162. All right, let's go to Milwaukee next. As you see, the Brewers in complete command of the National League, 5.5 games up on the Philadelphia Phillies. The Cubs had an opportunity to get it to 5 yesterday, but Brewers win back to 7. For all intents and purposes, the NL Central race is over. Now it's just a matter of Milwaukee trying to hold on to the number 1 seed in the National League. Quintana tonight against Wisenhunt for the Giants. Minus 160 now, as that just got bet recently on Milwaukee. An extra 5 cents and a total of 8.5 now in this one.
I like the Brewers. I think that's a really good price there, minus 155 back at home. The Giants looked good for a game or two against the Padres. I think they just played them well. I also don't trust them against lefties. They're 30th OPS, so I think Jose Quintana can pitch well here today. I think that's a very cheap price on the Brewers. It'll probably be one of my top plays today.
I mean, how can you go against Milwaukee, against a clearly inferior team in their own ballpark right now? Other than the Marlins, no one's beaten them in their own ballpark in a series going all the way back into May at this rate. So, again, Giants, we know, misery more so than anything in that one. Let's go to Arizona next. Reds, again, they're alive, half game behind New York. They play the Mets that first weekend of September as well, so they'll have a head-to-head crack as well at Great American Ballpark. Littell and Ryan Nelson tonight. D-backs are favored, though, minus 130 on Arizona, total of 9. I don't know, Alex. Price seems a little bit odd here. Would have expected this to be closer to a pick. Would only be a look to Littell and the Reds. In this one, best you can do in the market is this plus 115 here at the point.
See, that's tough for me because I do think pitching advantage is Nelson, even though Littell has been very good this year and good for his new team. So besides that, I would lean to the Reds with the other advantages, but I don't really want to jump in on the side. I'm looking at playing this game under. I think 9 is just a little bit too high, not giving these pitchers enough credit here. And I know the Diamondbacks have really come back to life offensively, but I think Littell can do enough to keep this lower. 9 full game, or maybe first 5 staying under. I think it's a pretty high number there, maybe 5 or 4.5 at least. But yeah, so looking to play some type of under here in this one. There it is. Yeah, 5.
I get a steer clear of anything, but again, I didn't think the Red. I'm a little surprised though. Maybe a little advantage for Nelson, but it's not a big advantage like this. At least for the full game, would have expected this to be closer to a pick for the full game.
Yeah, you're right, and he is coming off a couple
he
of rough ones.
Really well last time out. All right, let's go to the big series in the National League. We did this last weekend. The Dodgers swept all 3 from the Padres, but then the Dodgers flipped around and couldn't take advantage of the Rockies, only splitting 4 games in Colorado. So a 1-game lead over San Diego entering the weekend. Realistically speaking, it's a 2-game lead because the Dodgers have clinched the National League West, well, not the National League West, but the tiebreaker for the Padres. If they were to end up in a tie at the top of the NL West, it would go to L.A. over San Diego. Dodgers also without a bye at the current moment, so that changes things in a potential National League playoff chase. Snell and Darvish, your pitching matchup. Total of 8. Snell's favored at minus 120. I got to steer clear of this. Padres, again, significantly better at home than on the road, but Dodgers own them right now and have just played them so well this year. Padres just got to prove it at this point against L.A. Ever since they upset them in the 2022 DS, it has been all L.A. over the last 3 years.
It's tough, right? I think these numbers are telling you everything because the Dodgers are minus 120 for the full game, but they're closer to minus 150 for the first 5. So I do think that there's a huge pitching advantage with Blake Snell. And this Dodgers team just hit up you, Darvish. He only went 4 innings, 4 earned runs on 3 hits. So that makes me nervous. But for the full game, I mean, like you mentioned, Padres at home kind of feels like a must win for them just to get over the hump and prove that they can beat this Dodgers team. So I'm going to pass. But I mean, I think the number's right on Snell. So I think 120 is pretty cheap there, but I'm not going to jump in.
Yeah, steering clear. We'll see how this all plays out in the NL West race. Again, 1 game ahead of the Padres. Padres currently the 5 seed as well. It would be a San Diego-Chicago, pretty damn good wild card series if we got it. It'd also be Dodgers-Mets in an NLCS rematch at the moment. Again, it's 7 for it's 2 for 1 at this point. The top 5 teams in the NL playoff, like Chase, they're all going at this point. It's just a matter of how the order gets sorted out. And then it's the Mets and the Reds for that final spot in the NL. All right, let's go to the American League. Red Sox take game 1 in the Bronx yesterday against the Yankees. Another defensive disaster for the Yankees yesterday. It's just amazing that they just, and it feels like it happens twice a week where the Yankees just forget how to baseball more so than anything. 4 errors. Roman Anthony is going to be really darn good if you don't already look at him as already being really darn good. up in Boston. Nice advantage for the Yankees here with Fried. But Fried has struggled his last few times out. Was fortunate that the Yankees offense showed up in St. Louis on Saturday. He's minus 180 against Brian Bayo tonight, plus 60 on the Sox, and a total of 8.5. Yankees a half game ahead of Boston for the top wild card in the American League, and 1 game ahead of Seattle in general for the final wild card in the AL.
And I really fumbled the game yesterday, too, going first 5. With the Red Sox actually winning the full game and not covering that run line there. I'm not going to go back to a side. I actually like the total in this one. I think 8.5 is a little low, and I think it's priced from the first half, Max Fried. And really, you're right, Jeff. It's been a struggle for him as of late. 7 earned runs against the Cardinals, and then 4 against Houston, 4 against the Rangers. I mean, those are teams that we don't even really trust offensively. This Red Sox team can definitely hit, even though Bayo's been really good. So that's actually the side I'm a little bit more concerned about. But I mean, the Yankees overall, their offense has been really good. And looking at their numbers in the last 7, 290 as a team, 379 on base percentage, and a 167 WRC plus. So whether it's Bayo or the bullpen, I think they'll be able to put up some runs and help us get over 8.5.
Don't blame you. Don't blame me. That would be the way I would look, even though I will say this is a pretty juicy price on the Red Sox, where Red Sox have been better than the Yankees now for 2 months. And you mentioned it. This is first half pricing on Fried.
It is.
Not the same guy since the All-Star break, but again, you could also argue he's due for a big-time start.
That's true.
All right, let's go to Baltimore next. Astros and Orioles in the Charm City. Stros, finally a real effort against the Orioles, a 7-2 win last night to go back 2 games up on the Mariners out west. McCullers and Povich, your pitching matchup. Baltimore favored again. A second straight game here where I thought yesterday was a totally ridiculous price. Astros got there easily. Same deal here today. I know McCullers been dreadful, but not like Povich has been much better than McCullers has been this year, Alex. Would only be a look to Houston here again as a short dog. Best price in the market is even on Houston, by the way.
Kind of unusual home road splits for McCullers because he's actually been better on the road and gotten hit up at home. So if that can play into this game, I'm with you. I think Houston should be a much bigger favorite than that over the Orioles. So it would only be Houston or pass for me. I definitely think they can get to Povich here. So, I mean, they scored 3 on him last time. So, yeah, I like that a lot. Really, even looking at his numbers. I mean, he did have a rough start in Seattle, which is a little scary coming in off of that, and that's McCullers. But I think he's due for a good game here against Baltimore. So, really, and a play on the number. You're right. They should definitely be the favorite here.
Up next, let's go to Detroit. Top 2 teams in the American League Central. Tigers up to 9.5. Now against the Royals in that division race. So, again, AL Central, they got a little dicey there for about a week, 2 weeks. The Tigers have stabilized the ship. But here comes Kansas City in the AL wildcard race. 2 games behind the Mariners entering today's action. Again, the Royals have had one of the more confusing seasons that I can remember in recent memory. Back in it, 2 games behind. It's Burgert against Mize. Good pitching match, or interesting pitching matchup, better than I think that people would give it credit for. Burgert has pitched pretty darn well since going over to Kansas City.
Yes.
Mize has been good all year. Minus 145 on Mize, plus 30 on Burgert, and a total of 8.5 here tonight at Comerica.
Another kind of tough one here, right, where both pitchers are pitching well, but lean to the over with the offenses, thinking that they'll find a way to put some runs on the board. So I think 8.5 is a pretty good number here. Thought it would be closer to 9. So not a whole lot. I'd like a whole run difference. You know, if I made it 9.5, it'd be an auto play to the over, but it's a pretty heavy lead. I think we can get some runs here. I do worry about Burgert because he hasn't given up more than 2 since June 24th. So if he can slow down this Tigers offense, but Casey Mize, we've seen some cracks as of late. I mean, he's given up 4, 2, and 3 in his last 3. So the Royals are hitting. I think they can get to him.
Also, as you saw in the wild card standings one where we have the whole league picture, Detroit has retaken the number 1 seed from Toronto. And quite frankly, I don't think they're going to let go of it the rest of the year. I thought the whole way that since we got to the All-Star break especially, that the AL playoffs will go through Detroit.
Yeah.
They've now stabilized the ship. Yes, it's a game, and it's a game up in the loss column. Toronto is the tie break, but Detroit's just a better team. Detroit is still the best team in the American League when push comes to shove. And if the playoffs are going through Motown, it'd be awfully difficult to beat anyone for them to beat the Tigers up there this year.
I'm glad you brought that up because I was looking at the total, wasn't really looking at the side. I think now that the market's kind of, taking that plus price on the Royals, thinking that they are, playing good baseball right now, getting a pretty good price on the Tigers at home, minus 145. I think they should be closer to $1.60. So 15-cent difference there, almost. Both total and side, almost there to jump in.
Let's go to Chicago next. We can be quick on this one with the two worst teams in the American League doing battle on the south side. Matthews and Savali, a total of 8.5, and the Twins a minus 135 favorite here today at Raid Field, Alex.
Yeah, we can be quick. I mean, the only thing I would say is I don't know if the Twins should be minus 135 on the road, even if it is the White Sox. So pretty even pitching matchup. I'd give, I think it should be closer to a pick here. So it would be a lean to the White Sox.
Up next, let's go to Texas. Ciccone and Eovaldi in the battle of two-team. Rangers really falling out of things. Cleveland's still in it, 3 games out of a wild card slot. Rangers now 5.5 back. Eovaldi minus 150 here in this one, a total of 7.5 in Arlington.
I mean, that's their ace that they put out there to stop the bleeding. I think he can get it done here again. He has 4 of his last starts all resulted in wins. So you got a market where you can take Eovaldi to record the win. That might not be a bad play at all. You'll get a much better price than laying the juice here, which I don't really want to do with Texas right now. But I do think that's the right side. I think they should be closer to $2 favorite here at home with Nathan Eovaldi.
Can't really fault you. Can't really fault you on thinking that, Alex. Even though Eovaldi had that weird start against the Diamondbacks where he gave up all those homers. But other than that, he's been brilliant so far this year. All right, let's go to Seattle next. Morales will go for the A's, undecided on the Mariners side at the current moment, but the Mariners are big favorites at minus 210.
Wow.
A total of 8 in this one. It's supposed to be Brian Woo's spot here today, so not entirely sure what's going on our odds screen right now. So, but minus 210 here on Seattle here, Alex.
Handicapped it as if it was Brian Woo, so that $2 favorite did make sense to me with that. So really nothing. I think that number is correct. I like the way the A's are playing though. And we've seen some holes with Brian Woo as of late as well. Mostly just the first inning though. He'll give up a run here and there, but a couple road starts, and the Athletics did just see him July 30th, and he went 6 1/3. So that's pretty good, but 5 earned runs on 8 hits. So I'm going to pass on this one for sure.
And if it is Woo tonight, the only pitcher in Major League Baseball to go 6 innings in all of his starts so far this year.
Wow.
And to get that deep in the year with that in this era, unheard of at this rate. Pulling a Greg Maddux more times than not. All right, let's go to Miami next. Shane Bieber makes his season debut and his Toronto Blue Jay debut tonight, which is a big deal for the Jays, who are hoping that Bieber can recapture the form as an ace as he was in Cleveland all those years. Minus 165 on Bieber. Gusto, of course, came over in the Jesus Sanchez trade from Houston. Will go for Miami. Total of 8 in this one. Jays minus 65. I mean, you can't imagine Bieber's going to go more than 4 or 5 innings here in this game at most, Alex.
I mean, he did do 4 rehab starts where he went 4, 5, 5 2/3, and then 7 was his last one. So they were working him up in rehab. His last start, scoreless in 7 innings, just 6 hits, 4 strikeouts, no walks. So I think he's ready to go here. On the other side, Ryan Gusto, he's been giving up a lot of runs. He did have 1 good start against Washington. Might be more to say about Washington. So it feels like that's a little high for the Blue Jays and Shane Bieber coming back, but I'm not going to jump in on the other side. So I really got nothing.
Interested to see how Bieber looks tonight facing major league hitters for the first time in well over a year. Didn't allow a run in either of his starts before getting injured a year ago. All right, let's go to Tampa next. Cardinals and Rays. Cardinals yesterday take the first one 7-4. It's going to be Miles Michaelis and Adrian Hauser here tonight in Tampa. You know my theory with Michaelis, even though he pitched pretty well 2 times ago, last time he did not pitch well. I'm just going to steer clear here, though, Alex. I don't want to lay a price with Hauser, who is starting to regress to the mean, as we would have expected after his blistering start well with the White Sox.
Still think he is better than Miles Michaelis. I will say that. So I do think this is a race spot after the Cardinals get the first one. Just a matter if you want to jump in and lay that minus 135. But I do. I think it's the right side. I think that had more to do with Gray than the Cardinals yesterday. But Tampa Bay's offensive numbers are not good either as of late. So I don't blame you. Stay off for me as well.
Last one on the board. Cubs and Angels tonight in Anaheim. Right now we got, and this is even according to Major League Baseball's website, we have TBD against TBD.
Nice.
Always a good sign. There we go. Perfect. That's awesome. Minus 140 on the Cubs, plus 125 on the Angels, total of 9.5. Alex, what the hell are we doing here with this one? Can we do anything?
Well, if it is Tyler Anderson, let's go Cubs team total over. It is 5.5. You're getting a plus price there. I'm sure you could get an alt number with not too bad of a juice price there, going over 4.5. I think that's pretty good. Cubs are hitting again, and I think they could get to Tyler Anderson if it is him. But it's a big wait and see, right?
Absolutely. Cubs minus 140 on this one with a total of 9.5. All right. That's the baseball card. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to update you on the NFL preseason lines that are available for tonight. And you know what? Probably a little bit of this weekend as well. Our Week 0 picks are coming at 12 noon today, guys. 12 noon on Football Frenzy for our Week 0 picks. So be on the lookout for that. And also, too, the trivia question is going to be live when we get back. Well, actually, it is already live, I should say. And we already have a winner. So there we go. When we get back, Sports by the Book, South Point Studio.
South Point is also proud to provide a variety of relaxing amenities for the guests who want to be pampered. Soak up the sun and let your stress melt away in our lagoon-style paradise swimming pool. A relaxing getaway where you can bask in the desert sun and enjoy seasonal food and bar service poolside. And if you really want to escape, come to Spa Costa del Sur. From couple suites to a co-ed wet area, our spa caters to business and leisure travelers who want to unwind and elevate their senses. A visit to one of our spa's steam, sauna, or whirlpool treatment rooms will leave any guest feeling like they can take on the world. Our gaming amenities include over 60 table games and over 2,600 of the most popular slot and video poker machines. We have penny slots, including the popular Buffalo games, and real machines like Wheel of Fortune, Triple Sevens, and Megabucks. If you prefer video poker, try Deuces Wild, Double Double Bonus, or a variety of multi-denomination games. Or try your hand at one of the most popular casino table games in the world, Blackjack. Don't let the game intimidate you. Blackjack, also known as 21, is both easy and fun. And our dealers are always happy to assist. And the best part? Blackjack always pays 3 to 2. Next, check out the roulette tables. Roulette is one of the easiest casino games to learn, and so much fun to play. It's a favorite of both beginners and seasoned players. In addition to blackjack and roulette, our casino pit features over 60 popular table games like Baccarat, Pai Gow Poker, 3-Card Poker, Ultimate Texas Hold'em, and Mississippi Stud. So get out of your room and come join in the fun.
In Sports by the Book, South Point Studio, Jeff Parles, Alex White. Again, Football Frenzy on a Friday comes your way at noon right here on the channel. Alex, myself, Chris, Vinny, I don't know. I think he'll be over here. Chris will be down there. We'll, again, everything you need to know for Week 0, and also go through futures in college football and also the games of the year and win totals that have moved here at the South Point. We'll get you all updated as well. Also, apparently, we'll see Joe D'Amico as well. So, entertaining guy. Joe D'Amico will be at least on for a little bit as well on the show later in the afternoon.
Entertaining, and he does pick winners. You got to give him that.
I do. Absolutely. All right, Alex, let's go to it. Let's start with the NFL preseason here before we get your whiteboard ready and we tell everyone the trivia answer. Because these Friday 10 a.m. shows moving forward will be a little bit shorter, just to give us ample time to be ready for Football Frenzy at noon moving forward here. So 4 preseason games. Let's start. I'll just give you updates on the odds. Neither of us have any plays on either of these 4 games here tonight. Jets and Eagles has gotten banged to the under, 37-34. The expectation is neither team are going to play any of their starters, maybe a few rookies on the Jets side, but really not much of anything. Jets a 2-point favorite in this one. Adrian Martinez has been stellar this preseason, so maybe a little bit of that. So that's where we're at right now. But it opened 2, it got as high as 3, as low as 1. So right back where it opened on the side. Dallas and Atlanta, Alex. This one's barely moved. Open 3, now 2.5 with Dallas. Total open 36, moved down, now back to 36, so not a model movement in Dallas and Atlanta. In Tennessee, my mind's on college. I was very close to saying the Vols instead of the Titans. Open 3, now 4.5. Total's 37. That hasn't moved at all. So limited action on the total in that one. And then the Bears and the Chiefs, Big Red and Big Ben are behind me here. We got a 1 with Kansas City, total 42.5. That total has spiked from 39. That's been the big mover in this game, which, again, be interesting to see how long everyone goes in this one here tonight in Kansas City, Alex.
That's right, because this is the game, right, where we get to see Patrick Mahomes and company.
Well, we saw Mahomes in week 1 against whoever it was, week 1. Now I'm blanking. It was Seattle last week for them. So the plan is for the starters is to start the game here tonight for Kansas City. And Ryan, Caleb Williams starting tonight also for Chicago, right? That's what I saw as well, that we'll see the starters. So that's why the total's been bopped up a whole 3 points on Chicago and Kansas City here tonight. Also throughout the weekend, plenty of other NFL preseason football. We don't have much to say on that. We'll check in with Chris and Vinny on how the action's been on Football Frenzy on a Friday. Also, again, parlayable player baseball props available now here at the South Point. Red and blue sheet up top, 14 options for tonight in Major League Baseball. Also, week 0. Again, I'll just say this: we won't give any of our plays. If you are just curious on the lines, Kansas State and Iowa State is still K-State 3 with a total of 50.5. Western Kentucky is a 10-point favorite over Sam Houston with a 61. Fresno and Kansas 13 at home with a total of 49.5. Hawaii 2-point favorites at home against Stanford, and then UNLV 27-point favorites against Idaho State tomorrow in an FCS showdown at Allegiant Stadium. That was supposed to be 3 weeks from now, but got moved because of the Canelo Crawford boxing match that will be at Allegiant Stadium that Saturday. All right. We'll take a quick break. We'll get Alex's whiteboard. We'll get the trivia answer, and then we'll say bon voyage until noon when we got ourselves Football Frenzy on a Friday. Coming your way in 90 minutes right here. Sports by the Book, South Point Studio. Alex's whiteboard next.
Contest sign-up season is here, and you don't want to miss out on the action. With millions of dollars on the line each and every week in the world's biggest football contest, there's only one proxy to trust: footballcontest.com. Maddie and Tony have set the gold standard for football contest proxy services with 20 years of experience and over 13 million in winnings for their clients. All you have to do is get to Vegas between now and the start of football season to sign up in person, and they do the rest, making sure your picks are entered every week. Whether you want to play in the Circa Sports Million, Circa Survivor, Super Contest Gold, or the new Super Contest College Contest, Maddie and Tony have you covered. Their new website has everything you need to know about these football contests and more, including how you can reserve the best proxy in the business. Experience matters, so go with the pros at footballcontest.com, the gold standard proxy service.
This is speed. This is winning. This is losing. This is NASCAR in Las Vegas, the South Point 400, a NASCAR playoff race, October 10th through 12th. Get your tickets now.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book, South Point Studio.
We don't make stuff up here.
I would only play the Pirates team total going under.
What the hell happened to Minnesota's pitching?
This total has really crashed without plumbing the lineup.
I think this number's too high, but they're laying me the 6.
Oh, I know.
Caitlin Clark drives handle on the WNBA.
Never mind all these Mickey Mouse other stations. We are giving you hands-on information.
Welcome back in Sports by the Book, South Point Studio. Football Frenzy on a Friday comes your way in less than 90 minutes at 12 noon. Myself, Alex White, Vinny Magliulo, Chris Andrews, previewing week 0 right here at the desk. And we'll be doing it every Friday moving forward. This 10 a.m. and then a nooner for Football Frenzy on a Friday moving forward here at the desk at the South Point Studio. All right, trivia question time. Nolan Ryan, I think we've heard of him, right? We've heard of him. Hall of Famer, one of the best to ever do it. On this date in 1989, he got his 5,000th strikeout. It came against Ricky Henderson, so that's a pretty good one. One of the best to ever do it as well. Rest in peace to Ricky as well. Which MLB player did Nolan Ryan strike out the most in his career, and how many times did he strike him out?
Oh, good question.
Good question. So, look, Nolan Ryan almost pitched for 30 years, so a lot of guys struck out multiple times against Mr. Ryan, but no one struck out more against Nolan Ryan than Claudell Washington did. 39 times Nolan Ryan struck out Washington. Freddie Patek was second on that list, and then Jorge Ortiz, the final one on that list, but there you go. Claudell Washington, 39 strikeouts in 102 plate appearances against Nolan Ryan. Hardy batting average of 144. It's interesting. Rod Carew, who's 4th on this list, is the guy who was not known to strike out. Nolan Ryan struck him out 29 times. That's super interesting, even though you see Rod Carew batting average of 301 against Nolan Ryan. Carew's in the Hall of Fame for a reason, right? But there you go. To Nick, extends his lead to 2 games, 4th win of the week. Good job for Nick yet again, trying to dethrone JR yet again in the trivia. Also, by the way, trivia question, there was a poll as well, in addition to the trivia question. Your vote for Coach of the Year based on the NFL preseason, which, well, all right, well, we could have done that even without the last part of that. Ben Johnson and Mike Vrabel got 25% each. And then no coach that was mentioned got 37% each. That's a good job, everybody. Great job on that here today. All right.
They're going against you a little bit. They're fighting you.
Well, look, if New England and Chicago don't make the playoffs, it's not going to be one of those two. So it's almost the same as saying that neither of those teams will make the playoffs. I get it. So, but again, as I've said, if the Bears make the playoffs, Ben Johnson's winning it. If the Patriots make the playoffs, then it's a real race. So we'll see how it plays out here.
Come back for Football Frenzy. I'm going to have Chris make some odds and have Jeff put his money where his mouth is. If the Bears make the playoffs, that he is winning.
Oh, Ben, if the Bears make the playoffs,
yeah,
Ben Johnson should be even money if that's the case. But again, they have to make the playoffs. So I would much rather, Alex, just we can go with books that would allow it. We can take a Ben Johnson and Chicago Bear make the playoff parlay.
Ooh,
I'm sure we would get some terrible. I'm sure the odds we would get screwed on it based off the books that would offer something like that. But hey,
that's a good correlation.
Well,
I like it.
We'll see how we go. All right, ready for the whiteboard here?
Whiteboard. Here we go.
All right, Alex's whiteboard to wrap things up here before we see you again in about 80 minutes from now.
Yes. So, a couple favorites and an over here. We're going with the Brewers. I think this is a good price for them at home, -155. Going Red Sox and Yankees over that 8.5. I think that should have been 9 or 9.5. Hopefully we get a lot of runs there tonight. And then I am going with the Astros, just like yesterday on the road against the Orioles, -105. I also like the Rangers, but I'm not going to do it because still got that ticket and they're losing me money. But I think the Rangers do win tonight, and I think that's a good price on Nate Eovaldi.
Brew Crew, again, actually losing a series in the middle of the week, which I did not realize was allowed to the Cubs, but still a 7-game lead in the National League Central. All right, that's what we got for you here on the morning edition here of Sports by the Book. We're back at noon. Again, 3 East, noon Pacific. Football Frenzy on a Friday, every Friday now that we're in football season. Vinny, Chris, Alex, myself will be with you today at noon and every Friday moving forward at noon right here on Sports by the Book. We will see you all in 82 minutes.
That's right.
She's Alex. I'm Jeff. We'll see you then. Sports by the Book here at the South Point Studio. Make sure you tune in for Football Frenzy at noon today right here. Sports by the Book, South Point Studio.